Hello traders, this is a DAX recap video. This was the chart that was posted before the open, and in the morning notes I said that this zone here, it's larger time frame resistance zone that still acts as resistance until it's broken. Then in the case of the breaking of this range top, which act as a main support, now target could be this gap, this here, and maybe that could be a target for false gap and then to go upside, but the real breakdown would be a lower odds scenario. That higher odds scenario would be for market to balance here or to grind higher. And now it didn't really happen like that. After in the US session we had a good move to the downside, and now we're going to see if this is going to be a false break or not. Also you got this chart with the morning notes. It was DAX 240-minute chart to emphasize the importance of this zone. Also S&P chart that now looks completely different, and you can't really see on a 4-hour chart that this here was really a poke above, but just for 1 or 2 points, and that false break of this here zone could lead now to the test of this range here. So we will see about that, but about the opportunities, so this here was the pre-market, and as you can see, pre-market high 680, pre-market low 640. This 40 points was the pre-market range, and now you have the situation, the market is literally going to open at the larger time frame resistance. As said before, whenever you have a situation the market is opening at large time frame resistance, it is a short. Opening at large time frame support, it is a long. Whatever happened later, but there is going to most likely going to be a tradable reaction. And also when you observe this larger candle is 8 a.m. so 1 hour before the open, and now you get this balancing at the edge of the zone. This is a short signal for us. Immediately after the open you could enter a short, or even in the pre-market session. And now aggressive stop loss is going to be above this here area, above this, because if this is going to be a good short, market shouldn't go above this candle, this strong candle from 8 a.m. And you can place your short here aggressively or more conservatively above the entire zone and targeting next zone below. So you are going to your idea is now zone to zone trade, and this trade short is here. You could enter, you could exit like here. I did this trade in like 2 trades from here and showed that on Twitter. Better would be for this trade to be done as a single trade with your stop when you have a good amount of points here, like 20-25 points of profit, that you just lower your stop above this small range, because if it is going to be a successful trade, then price shouldn't really go above it. And this is a secondary entry. You see this inability to go inside pre-market range, a trade setup that we had many times. Now we are targeting previous cash close. We could also enter a long trade either on the first test of the previous cash close or here, because in this time here you should really buy the first test, but if you miss that, thinking that maybe it could go to the RTH low of Friday, which is here, maybe it could go lower. But now when you have this, especially when you have like this double bottom on the previous cash close, and this one is a bit lower and then they're going higher again, this is your long entry. And in this kind of range, when it's already 1:30 p.m., this is the time when you have to decide, should you close this right here because market could go back again, or you could wait for market to test the pre-market low and then to exit. But it would be a very good amount of time, very long wait, and basically it's better to just close and move on. And now you have a situation that the entire RTH basically trade until this time was below pre-market low, and in between pre-market low and previous cash close in this 40 points only. Now think about ATR, which is 150 points, and in this time when it's almost is New York Stock Exchange opening, and even before that at let's say 1 o'clock p.m. you should really ask yourself, okay, so we have this so far. Do we have a daily high? Do we have a daily low? Because this here, by this time, could very well be daily high. And if it is a daily high, and ATR is 150 points, where that range could develop. Aha, now I should just deduct 150 points from 680, and what did I get? That then 530. And market is unable to go inside the pre-market range, and again is rejected, and now Americans are opening. We had another rejection, another test, and it is your short entry again. And now we are not targeting previous cash close, because previous cash close was already tested 2 times in regular trading hours. Look at this. Now 10:40 and 10:40 and around noon. So it's not going to survive a third test. It had a bounce here and then gone below. And now you're targeting this main support area. And because this is late, look at this. Another thing, I said in the morning notes that this here is the main support where expectation is that buyer will defend. Yes, that is the expectation, but not at the end of the RTH session. Now that is one rule of the thumb. If you have a good move, either to the upside or to the downside at the very end of the RTH session, you really don't want to fade that. You are going to fade that if this move you will get at 11 or at 12 or at 1 o'clock p.m., but you will not fade this move. Now you are just want to close your short and not to take longs here at 5:30 at the end of the session. This is not a really good time for taking new trades. Now we will see what is going to happen here. Is it going to be a false break or not? They can touch now this gap, but it is not going to be filled because now it is after hours. This here is the closing. And let us see where the DAX closed at 592. And this is now situation on the daily chart, on the, as you can see, S&P on the 4-hour chart. That could be interesting. And now DAX. So, you know, when a lower odds scenario is playing out, this is really not a real breakdown of this range. It's just that they just poke like 15 points below. It could be a false breakdown. When the low odds scenario happens, it just caught many traders on the wrong side, and then you will get a large move. Now this move is inside ATR. This is just a 150 point move, so far nothing much. And that is it for this video. So school book trading here, really market opening on the larger time frame resistance zone, targeting next zone, and this long from here also. Nothing really special about it. Test of the zone and the previous cash close, and this one here a bit different. You should really take context and US market into account, and the fact that market can't go above inside the pre-market range, and this pre-market low acted as a very good resistance for today. And this is it for this edition of DAX Recap video, 9 minutes long, and I wish you good trading and good day.